Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us at our webinar, How to Use Social Media to Promote Your T-shirt Business. I'd like it if somebody could let me know if you can hear me. Just type it into the message area and let me know if you can hear. Okay, good, perfect. Thank you, guys. Just wanted to make sure I was live and that I wasn't on mute. So thank you again for joining us. Apologize for the little technical difficulties that we had, kind of the result of it being my first time hosting one of these webinars. So bear with us and we'll get everybody hopefully looking at their emails and noticing the change of location. So I see people are attending, so that's a good thing. I wanted to start today. My name is Stephanie Gravens, and I've been with Transfer Express for about 10 years now in the marketing department. You may have met me at trade shows. I also am currently managing our social media efforts at Transfer Express. And I wanted to kind of share with you guys some of the tips and ideas and some of the knowledge that I have learned along the way as I have been learning along with you guys. Does everybody have a social media page? Do you currently use Facebook or Instagram? If you don't, that's totally okay. We're going to be kind of discussing the basics of social media as well as digging in a little bit deeper to give you guys some information to hopefully use along the way as you are either getting started with a social media page or whether you're just trying to do something a little bit different with your current page. So, oh, good, we have a newbie. We have some people using Facebook and Instagram. So perfect. And please feel free to chat back and forth. I have some knowledge along the way, but if you have ever done some research on social media, you will find that everybody does it differently. So it's all up to you and your company and your business and how you use it, and there's really no wrong way. So to get started, we are going to do a little bit of housekeeping first. So our webinar is recorded. It's going to be available to view tomorrow afternoon on our website in the same location that you registered for our webinar. The PDF slides that you're going to be viewing here are also going to be available. And then as you guys are already doing, but if anybody else wants to participate, feel free to type your questions here in the questions field. And then we also have Mike that's on the line who is going to be answering some of your questions through the chat box. So, and also, if we don't get to all of your questions during the webinar, we will definitely email you back at the end to answer any of your questions. Also, please make sure that you guys visit our social media channels. Facebook, it's /Stalls Transfer Express. Our Twitter page is @TransferExpress. We also have an Instagram page that we post to. We're also on LinkedIn and Pinterest. So please, if you're not already following us, please do. And we hope that we are sharing a ton of tips and ideas for you on those pages. And we really hope that you guys participate. So today's agenda, we're going to get started is promoting on social media. Is it right for you? Is it right for your business? We know how busy everybody is, so it's a lot to take in. So we're going to talk about, is it right for you? Which platforms are best for your business? Again, everybody's business is different, so I probably won't have any answers for you, but I will hopefully come up with some ideas that you'll hopefully take away from this that you can put towards your social media efforts. We're also going to go through how to start promoting on social media, where to get started, your branding and your content, so the way that your company looks and feels on social media, as well as the type of content that you're going to put out there. And then I will show you some of the tools. I won't go into detail, but I'll tell you about some of the tools that I use and that I've heard other people use that they've had success with to make their jobs easier for posting onto social media. Because some of us aren't artists, some of us aren't web designers, some of us aren't advertisers or whatnot, video makers, but there are tools that we can use to make things go a little bit smoother for you guys. And then I'll share some tips, some best practices that we've learned along the way that have either worked for us or that is just a best practice in general for social media. And then we'll touch on a little bit of social media advertising. There's just so much information to talk about with social media advertising. We'll touch on it, and that could be for a future webinar. So let's get started. So why are we promoting on social media? Social media is a big player, especially Facebook, that we will mainly talk about today, since it is the, the gorilla, I guess you would say. It has the most followers on it, and most likely your customers are there too. So social media can directly sell your products. Sites like Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook also can directly sell what you have to offer. So your t-shirts, you can have buy now buttons, you can have links that can directly take customers to sites where they can simply purchase a product. It can also help create a community of clients and fans who love your brand. When we think of social media, we want to think of it as a party or a get together. This party is for your company, and you're inviting your customers, you're inviting people who think that you're their best friend, you are, or people that want to be your best friend. You'll also be inviting people that, may not be your best friend, but we're going to convert them into your best friend. So you want to think of it as a party and how you're going to chat at the party and share stories and ideas. And you want to be interesting to get them to like you more, to get more people to come to your party and all of that. So we really want to make it into a community and a gathering and to hold a conversation. You also are going to be able to create a subscriber list of buyers through social media. With email being one of the most effective channels for lead generation, 91% of consumers check their emails daily. So we want to convert those that are on social media into our subscriber list. We want their email addresses, and we want to be able to contact them through e-coms and e-communications as well. So social media and having a presence on social media is a great way to do that. And then with social media, you are going to be growing your brand awareness, your look, your feel, your tone of voice, all of that you're going to be putting on your social media pages. And it's going to really help grow your brand awareness and let customers know about you and know where to find you and your products. And then you are going to have an endless supply of customers. Facebook alone has 1.6 billion users on a monthly basis. So with the customers there, you have an endless supply of these customers. So if you're selling regionally, locally, nationally, internationally, your customers are on social media platforms. So after all of that, which social media platform is right for your business? Most likely you will have a social media page or are using a social media page for your business. But with all of the different types of pages out there and sites out there, it can become extremely overwhelming. And your time is dedicated to your customers and creating your products, as opposed to you don't have the time to have a presence on every social media platform. So which one is right for you? I don't have an answer for you, but we will give you some ideas and some tips on how to figure out the right social media platform for you. So let's determine your audience. Who's your customers? Are they organizers of events? Are they teams? Are they men, women? What's their age? What are they looking for? Are they looking for t-shirts? Are they looking for bags? Are they looking at uniforms? So you want to define your audience is basically what I'm saying. Everyone's audience is going to be different. You want to make sure that you know what your niche is. Are you a fishing and camping? Do you do fishing shirts? So are you going to be catering to men who love the outdoors? We can really target using social media your specific audience. So you want to really define who your customers are. And then secondly, where are they hanging out? So we want them to be our friends. We want to know who they're hanging out with, where they're hanging out, and we want to be there too. So are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? The different channels have different audiences and different demographics that are best for them. So you may not be able to post on every social media platform, but you definitely want to be on the ones that your customers are on. And then also, are they on the computer? Are they on mobile? Do they use their phones or computers more? Most likely they're on their phones more, but you kind of want to know that for your company. So once we know a little bit about who our customers are and where they are, let's take a look at the social channels a little bit more and their audiences. So this chart here shows the different social media chat platforms, and it does not have Snapchat on there, but that's an up and coming social media platform and really geared more towards a younger audience. So when we look at this chart, we are looking at the demographics. We know how many users are on different channels. We can see the purpose of them. Like Facebook is perfect for building relationships. Pinterest, if you have a lot of ideas for t-shirts, if you have your own line of designs, then you can post your designs on Pinterest and actually sell directly from there. Twitter, if you are into the news or posting articles, having conversations with your customers, Twitter is great for customer service as well. So this chart really gives you an idea of where your customers are, what type of customers will be there, and really what you're going to gain out of posting on some of these social media channels. Now, once you know the audience, that you can determine which platforms are right for you. It can be all of them, it can be one of them, it can be a couple of them. So there's really no right or wrong. You just want to know who your audience is, where they are, and stick to the channels that you can get to them at. This next chart shows you the age ranges for the different social media platforms and which ones. This is actually really interesting. And which age ranges use which platforms more. So obviously Facebook is controlled by every age range. But when you look into some of the other platforms, you kind of get an idea, such as LinkedIn has 27% of the 39 to 49-year-olds, as opposed to them being on Twitter or Instagram. So that kind of shows you that these people are going to be more of a professional. So if you're into corporate wear or work wear, possibly you want to be on LinkedIn as well and make sure that you're showing your products there too. So this chart kind of gives you an idea of where in their age groups. And there's a lot of other factors, of course, that go into the demographics, but this is, the age ranges. So how do I get started? So you're new or maybe you use social media like Facebook in a personal for a personal page. But if you wanted to get started with a business page, how do you get started? So the first thing to do is to, of course, sign up. It's a lot to think about when you're starting to get a social media page, but the first thing to do is just really just sign up for one. Start getting your page out there. You can sign up as a business page. It's free, but the best thing to do is to just have a page in general. If you don't have a page, then to your customers, you may not exist. Facebook especially is becoming its own search engine. So being able to type in the search, t-shirt company in my area, they're going to be able to pull up t-shirt companies around around you and your customers. So you want to make sure that you at least have a presence on these social media pages. Yeah, and if your competitor is there and you're not, if they're able to search for t-shirts, your competitor is there, you're not, then you're definitely going to want to make sure that you get those customers, because they will go to your competitor if they can't find you. So once you get started, and there's a lot of how-tos, tutorials on actually how to set up these Facebook pages. So I'm not going to go into detail on that. But once you do get started, once you start your pages, you can just start interacting with your page. Even if you don't have a lot of followers yet, you may just have a couple of family members or something like that, but don't be discouraged, because more followers will come to you if you're out there. So one of the tips that we have is just to share your page with your personal social media pages. So if you have a personal Facebook or Instagram page, let your family and friends know that you have a page, and that for them to like your page and share. And that will just have a snowballing effect to bring people to your page and let them know what you can do. And then you can also add these. This is a huge tip. You can add your social media icons to everywhere, your websites, your flyers, package stuffers, the tags on your shirts, your invoices, anywhere that you can possibly let people know, hey, I have a Facebook page or I have an Instagram page. You want to do that. People look for that little icon and will click on it. So once we're started, how are we going to earn trust with our customers, which is a huge player in social media? So you have people's attention, and we want to make sure that we attract that attention and that we keep them there. So we want our customers to trust that we are going to deliver the best content that we possibly can, and to teach them and to help them grow. So almost every brand has a social media presence, and consumers are tired of being advertised to. If you want to cut through all of that clutter, huge, massive competitors out there, so you're going to need to build trust with your customers. And trust can't be given, of course. It needs to be earned. So it's going to take a while, but you really want to create an audience that truly cares about what you have to say. But you want to take it a step further, of course. It's not easy, it's not fast, but if you work at it consistently, you're one step closer to building trust with your customers. So let's take a look at 5 ways that we can earn trust from our followers. And there's a lot more than this, but here's 5. So our first way is to educate them. So we can put out tutorials, tips on how to use your brand, how to purchase, how to choose the right sizing of t-shirts, how to figure out which brand is best. As you know, there are so many different variables when it comes to choosing a piece of apparel, a color, what their design wants to say, what sizes they need. There's so much information that you have that your customers can use. How do I handle when somebody, has one extra shirt? What's your policy on that? How can you help those customers when they have those questions? So you really want to educate them, teach them what you know. You also want to give them some sort of value. You want to give them something that they can use, sizing guides, something to be able just to know which colors to choose. So you really want to create value and give them a reason of why they should come to your page. You want to give them questions, success stories, testimonials, show them customers using your products. inspire them, show them motivational posts. And then also people love incentives. So discounts, special offers, let them know anything that can help them save money. People will really be attracted to that. And then I added one at the last minute, and one that definitely should be probably number one, and that's the major rule of social media, is just to be authentic. So with social media, you don't want to talk like an advertisement. You want to show them that there's an actual person there communicating. You want to be accessible. You want to be transparent. You want to show them that you are not a robot, basically. You want to avoid formula responses and, thank you for your comment. Please contact our customer service from the hours of 8. You don't want to, you want to sound like a real person, and you want to be authentic, as if somebody was talking to you face to face. So we have an idea behind the way that we want to earn their trust. So let's look at a specific way that we can, some of the things that we can share to earn their trust. So your content, we talk about content marketing. Basically what that means is what you're putting out there, your writing, your copy, the photos, the video, the blogs, the tips, that's all your content. And it's valuable. It should be relevant. You should be consistent with your content in various ways, from the look and the style of your content to how often you're posting. You want people to know what to expect from it. And then also content, you can communicate with customers without selling. And then you don't really want to pitch your products with social media content. You want to deliver information that's going to make your customers more intelligent, basically. You want to tell them what you know, make them more knowledgeable about your products, make them more knowledgeable about the industry. That's all what social media is for and what your content is for. So what type of content are we talking about? So I gave you a few examples, but this kind of gives you an idea that there's so much more content out there. You might be asking yourself that you don't know what to post, you don't have the right content, that you think that your content is silly or that it's not professional enough. But the truth is that you have a lot of content that you can share with your customers. But you just have to sit back and break it down. And you can really take these ideas and break them up into months and months worth of content that you can share. So discounts and incentives, of course, as we talked about, testimonials, your success stories, photos and videos are the main type of content that you're going to want to post. They get the most engagement from customers and from people on social media. If you don't have a photo nowadays and it's just text, it's not going to get looked at as much. So you definitely want to make sure that you are posting photos with your posts. Contests and sweepstakes. Behind the scenes is a big one. People want to know that there are real people behind your product, and that you are working, on a daily basis and, doing your best for your customers. So definitely share behind the scenes. And there's a lot more on this chart here. So you can put maps and directions. You can share your events. If you're going to be at an event, at a fair, at a festival, at a flea market, at a school football game, you can put on the events there so people will know where to find you. So your branding. Your branding, it's the most important aspect of your business. Whether you're big or small, your branding is going to say a lot about you. It's going to tell your customers what to expect from your company. It's going to differentiate yourself from your competition. Your brand is who you are, who you want to be, how people perceive you. It's your company's looks, it's your colors, your style, your tone of voice. The tone that you talk in, whether you're happy or whether you have a serious business, whether you're inexpensive or an expensive product. So your brand is going to say a lot about you, and you're going to want to transfer this branding that you do on your regular advertising and promotions and bring it into social media, so that if somebody comes to your social media page, they know exactly who you are. They can tell, oh, of course, that's Joanne's T-shirt shop because that looks like Joanne's T-shirt shop. It all has the same feel. If you do have a store, you kind of want everything to be cohesive and to everything to just jive together. So when they do come to your page, they know that they've stepped into your store. So creating content that's centered around your brand isn't difficult nowadays. You don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be, a graphic designer, a web designer. You don't have to be a video productionist. There are tools out there that we can use that really are not difficult. And we use a lot of these on a daily basis. I know some of the top companies in the world use these as quick, easy ways to create content. So I'm going to share a few of those. So for photo creation, the one that we use the most and the one that I love is Canva. And if you haven't used Canva, I suggest that you do and check it out. And most of these have free versions. Some of these ideas have free versions that you can use and anybody can use. So there's other ones out there, Pablo, Easily, but Canva is one that we primarily use. But basically, it's a photo creation website, canva.com, that you can, it has tons of templates. They already have the preloaded sizes that you would use for the various social media platforms. They have templates that are already created that you just go in there and change your text and the pictures. You can create blog post images. You can create every social media post image for event pages and for your profile pictures. You can upload pictures into there. It's just a great photo creation website that you can use. Video creation, we use Animoto, GoAnimate, Powtoon is a great one out there. But basically, you can use these to create easy slideshow videos, how-to videos, little promotional videos. So if you don't have video software and have no idea how to use it, you could use one of these sites and it makes your job so much easier. And then, of course, the social media management, and I'll touch on this in a few minutes on the next slide, but there are social media management tools that will help you just organize your posts easier to see everything in one place. I'll go over that in a second. And then hashtag searches. So if you're not sure what the hashtags are that your customers might be looking for, if you're using Twitter, and you can use one of these sites and find the keywords that customers are searching. And it would be interesting, and it's interesting to us too, that people sometimes do not use the same phrases that you would in the industry. So these hashtag searches are great for really understanding what everybody else is searching for and not just what we are searching for. And then one of the other ideas, so throughout the year, we attend a lot of webinars, classes, on social media, the best practices and all of that. And one of the greatest pieces of advice that I think that we have come across is for those that don't think that their images are good enough, and that they don't want to post them onto social media, is the suggestion to just create crap. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be an award-winning piece of artwork. It doesn't have to be something that, somebody is going to, praise and say that this is the best image that they've ever seen. You just create it. You can spend a lot of time and a lot of wasted time trying to make the perfect image. And as you all know, if you're looking for one piece of artwork and you can't find that piece of artwork, and then you go on to a tangent of going from website to website to website, trying to find either the perfect color of an image or, just you have to take a second and step back and just get it done. Just do it and put it out there. It's social media, and one of the great things about social media is that number one, it's a feed, so it doesn't stay up there for too long. And two, it's definitely a testing world. So you can put something out there, and if it didn't work, then you can try again and you can make it better, and post it again. And different people will see it. Maybe the same people will see it, and see that it, did change a little bit or whatever. But the most important thing is to not waste a lot of time in trying to create the most perfect post that you can possibly create and think that, oh, somebody is going to say that that's not good enough. Don't worry about that. And like we've learned, just create crap. So hopefully you'll take that at least away from it. So your social media managers, so does anybody have a social media manager out there? Um, so a social media manager is not maybe what you would think of as just another person on your payroll that's going to do a full-time job of managing your social media pages. So when we talk about social media managers, there are websites out there and there are programs out there that can manage all of your social media pages all in one place. Some people use multiple social media managers, but whichever one you choose, and there's a lot of information out there. We use Hootsuite. I've used TweetDeck before. There's been Sprout Social and Buffer and all of those. Somebody has used Buffer, so there's a lot to choose from. So just take a look at them. A lot of them have free trials or free versions of their site to give them a try. But basically, the idea here is we know you're busy and you have other jobs to do if you don't have a dedicated person to be your social media manager. So using a social media manager like Hootsuite, it puts all of your platforms. You can put everything from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram to Google Plus, LinkedIn, YouTube now. You can put all of those social media platforms and be able to monitor them. You can post from there. You can answer customer service questions. You can see what everybody is saying about you. And then you can take all of that information and analyze the data. Who's talking about you? How many people? What time of day are they looking at your page? And so on. So you can definitely get a lot of information from using one of these social media managers. And then you can also collaborate with a team. So if you do have a few people that you want them to be able to post to social media, they can all use the same managing website that you can schedule posts and be able to sign off on them and whatnot. So definitely take a look at social media managers, especially if you find it very hard to manage your time, and be able to spend some time on having a social media presence. Okay, now let's talk about some of these tips that we've learned throughout the years. So one of the things that you are going to hear over and over again is this 80-20 rule. And this 80-20 rule is pretty much everywhere. I've seen other rules that it's a 5-3-2 rule. It's a 70-30 rule. There's countless ones out there. But basically what this means is that you want to post 80% or a majority of your content that is not directly selling. So these are how-tos, educational things, things that are going to inform your customers, sharing blog posts, posting testimonials, posting a video, something that's not directly selling and promoting your business. And then 20% is going to be actually promoting your business, telling them that you have a special, telling them that you have a new product coming out, and that sort of thing. So we really want to keep on the educational side, but at the same time, you don't want too much. You want to, kind of balance that out. So which one of these rules that you follow, it doesn't have to be 80-20. It's just saying that it's a majority of your post should not be selling, because again, people don't want to be advertised to. And then a lot of questions come in is, how many times do you post? So how many times do you post a day? What's the rule on that? Should I be posting 2 times a day or 3 times a day? Should I post 10 times a day? What's the rule on that? And to be honest with you, if you know, please tell me, because everywhere I have read all has something different. Everybody has different advice. And it's really up to you, your business, what type of content you have. But just keep in mind that you really want to not be so salesy on social media. And that's kind of just where that 80-20 rule comes in. So with your posts, when you're starting to create your content, one of the things to keep in mind is to use a call of action. So your call of action is going to be telling your customers um, what to do. What do you want them to do after you posted a picture? So, are you posting a picture and then you want them to buy something? So, buy now or shop now or add it to the cart. So, we want to tell them what to do. So, even something as simple as putting a link onto your post so that after when your customer sees a product being shown, even if it's an educational post, if they want to know more about it, you want to have your link there so they know exactly where to go. So you don't have to be directly selling to them. It could be an educational post or something conversational, but having a link there definitely helps. It drives traffic back to your website if you have one, or to a blog or something like that. But you definitely want to have a link that's going to take them somewhere, or tell them just what you expect them to do. It could be, share your ideas, or submit a question, or subscribe to this post, or, something like that. But you definitely want to give them a call to action. You also want to create a sense of urgency. It's kind of you see it all over the place now, and you may not even notice it. So if you've ever gone to an airline website and you're going to purchase tickets, and on the right hand side it says there's only 2 tickets left at this price, you have to get it now or else your deal is gone. Or sites like Groupon, where they'll say, there's only 1 hour remaining until your deal is gone. So these types of sense of urgencies that make you click and make you buy are definitely something that you want to look at and make sure that you have in your social media posts, especially for, of course, the promotional ones. So some other tips that can help you create content is, do you have a blog? Do you have a company blog that you share ideas and tips? This is the most valuable way to put information out there and then be able to share that content with your customers. It drives traffic back to your website. It gets your keywords in there for SEO. Starting a company blog is a really good idea. You may not know what to post, but just like these tips for what to post on social media, you can push that into your blog posts as well and create content for that. And then also, starting a company blog allows you to collect your email addresses like we talked about before. So you want to create those subscribers, those email subscribers, sharing a Excel file or a document on Facebook, and then it directs them to your blog and asks for people to provide their email address to subscribe to your blog to receive that, is a great way of capturing those email subscribers and be able to turn those subscribers into customers through your e-coms. So your customer service on social media is becoming more and more prevalent these days. So consumers aren't are no longer using email or calling in as a main form of communicating with companies. They're really taking to Twitter and Facebook to ask questions. They are even getting quotes on Facebook. They're airing their grievances. Customer service is really a big player in social media. So with that, you actually have to have a presence on the different platforms to be able to answer those questions. So how is somebody going to this is a big thing, how is somebody going to fail at social media customer service? So if you're there and you're answering questions, you really shouldn't have too big of an issue. So one of the biggest things is not having a presence on social media at all. So if you're not there, if your customers are there to ask a question and they're searching for you, that's one of the biggest fails of social media customer service, is just not being there in general. So even if you do just have a page that allows people to ask questions and you're there to answer them, that's a huge step forward. Not answering in a timely manner is a huge fail. With social media, people expect you to be quick and fast. A lot of companies still will not respond to customers, a few hours after, 6 hours after, a day after, a few days after. Some customers sit there waiting for weeks and not receiving a response back. And that's one of the biggest no-nos with customer service, of course. And then also answering with an automated response. So, like we had said before, if you're talking like a robot and, answering their questions as if you are, formally addressing them, you really want to sound like a real person. And like we said, you want to be authentic and you want to show some sort of transparency that you're a real person that they're talking to. And then, of course, the biggest is not responding at all. So even if you have a Facebook page or an Instagram or Twitter page and somebody responds, not getting a response is, one of the biggest fails, because then you're basically telling that person that, their question or their comment is, not worth the time. So we definitely want to make sure that you're responding to everybody. And then another key piece of advice is to hug your haters. So we all have people that will complain about a product, or it wasn't what they were expecting, or something that was changed they don't like, or any of those complaints. They will come to your Facebook or your Twitter page. But what I'd like you to take away from this is don't get scared. Don't not respond to them, because that's probably one of the worst things that you can do, is to not respond. You don't want to leave any complaint, any comment unaddressed. And people who complain, though, are twice as likely to recommend your business if they do get a response. So even though they complained, as long as they got some sort of response back to you, or you gave it back to them, they're more likely to recommend you as a company to purchase from if they actually get a response back from you. And lastly, social media advertising. So we'll touch on this a little bit. And basically, as a company on social media, you are advertising. Anything that you post relevant to your company, is a form of advertising. So it's not just a traditional form of advertising. You're not sending out a direct mail piece or anything like that. It's conversational, it's more personal, but your advertising can reach people either organically or by paying. So organically, meaning that you're putting it out there for free, seeing what happens. It goes to how many people it goes to. You're using the keywords that you can use. You're using a photo. It's going to reach however many people it reaches. Paying for it, so paid advertising, is just paying for more people to see it. So your reach is going to be a lot more. You're going to reach a lot more people. With Facebook and the change over to paid advertising on Facebook, Facebook's organic reach is declining as people begin to pay more. So it's a really good idea to use some form of paid advertising through social media. Um, they're inexpensive, but it's just getting over that hurdle of beginning to use it and beginning to understand it a little bit better, because it is taking a turn to, if you want your customers to see your ad and you want a lot of your customers or most of your customers to see your ad, you're going to have to pay a little bit of money, but it's very inexpensive. So you'll hear a lot of opinions on whether paid advertising is effective or not for your business, or whether some people have had success with it or not success with it. But either way, it is an incredibly effective form of advertising, especially with the number of people that are already on Facebook. When you think about the 1.6 billion that are on there, and even if you got a small portion of that, you're still reaching a lot of people. So paid advertising is really a good idea. This graph will show you the effectiveness of a business to consumer social media platform, where those who have a B2C social media platform and use paid advertising, these are the people that have said that it has been effective. So 66% on Facebook, 53 on YouTube, etc. So it is an effective form of advertising. Those people who don't think that it is, I don't know whether, they just tried it once and they didn't get enough reach, but it's definitely something that has to be practiced with and tested. So you can put something up there, put an ad out there for $5, see what happens. Nothing happens, then tweak it a little bit. Maybe your wording was off. Maybe the image wasn't, didn't get enough response. So you can tweak it a little bit. And for that little amount of money, though, you are going to reach more people. So when you start thinking about your ads, you want to think of what is your objective? What's your real objective for putting out an ad? Are you in it to reach more current followers? Do you want to get more likes to your page? Are you trying to drive web traffic? Are you trying to get people back to your website? So what is your primary objective? And secondly, you can promote to specific audiences. So who do you want to promote to? Are you going after your current customers? Are you trying to attract new customers? You can really get specific with social media audiences, social media ads. So especially with Facebook. And then you're going to want to give yourself a little bit of a budget, let you know how much money you want to spend towards your advertising. And again, like I said, because it's so inexpensive, you can definitely test out different styles, different wording, different color combination, anything that you can do to tweak your advertising, send it out there again to know what works and what doesn't. And then the next time you go about it, you're that much more knowledgeable. So it's a great way to practice and to test. And then for especially local businesses, and with Facebook ads, you can actually get a perimeter around your store and say, anybody near my business, I want to make sure that they see my Facebook ad. So then the next time they're on Facebook, they see my ad, they know where my store is, they can come visit. So you can definitely, reach a geographical area, a specific area to promote to. So Facebook is coming a long way with their advertising and their tracking. So you're able to target different audiences and different demographics. I mean, you can get down into the nitty-gritty of their lifestyle, what they like, what they don't like, their age, their gender. You can really get down their income level there, so Facebook has really great targeting. So you know exactly who you're trying to reach. Like I said, you can run ads for as little as $5 on Facebook. And then uploading customer lists. So this is a great tool that Facebook has, that you can take your current customer list, your Excel file, upload that to Facebook. So now Facebook has your current customer list to promote to. So they know who your ad So you know who your ad is going to and who it's reaching. Um, and then another tip along the way, this kind of is off the topic here, but the 20% rule. And I don't know if anybody knows about this 20% rule that Facebook ads do, but it's just a reminder that if you do post a Facebook ad that they do have a rule that only 20% of your image can be text. So you can, as you can see in that image, we have our squares. And if your text is outside of those squares, Facebook will say that your ad contains too much text and either won't get to, won't be allowed to be promoted. Not as many people will see it, or so forth. So you want to make sure that you're hitting that 20% text rule, so that your ad will be promoted to the best of its ability. All right. And that's what I have for you today. So I want to thank everybody for attending. We can answer a few questions here if I see any in here. But I want to let you guys know that our next webinar for August, it's all going to be August 11th at 2 p.m., is 25 t-shirt packaging and display ideas that you can take away. There's going to be inexpensive ideas, different types of packaging, from anywhere from boxes to the most obscure type of packaging. So we're going to give you some ideas and really cool ways that you can package your t-shirts and and create displays from them. And of course, if you have any specific topics that you want to see us cover at a next Transfer Express webinar, feel free to give us an email. We respond to our emails really well. Somebody is always monitoring them and making sure that your comments go noted. So please feel free to email us at info@transferexpress.com. And let's see if we have any questions. Which blog site should we use? There's so many out there. WordPress is a great one, is one that we have used often. Let's see. Are the photo creation sites good on a regular computer, or do you need to be on an iPad type of device? No, we actually use those. I believe they have apps too, but we actually use those on a PC. So those are actually just websites. So the photo creation one, canva.com, is an actual website that you can just go to create an account. They do have a free version, I believe. And then it's kind of like an a la carte deal. So you have your templates, they have free templates, they have paid templates that they're usually just $1. And then you can create your own. You can put in your own pictures. You can purchase pictures. There are free ones, free icons. If you do things a la carte, they're just $1. So you can create a post either for free or for very inexpensive. Mm-hmm. And I think that's everyone. I think that's all the questions. So I thank you guys for joining us. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties at the beginning. I'm glad that you were able to make it and join us. But we hope to see you at our next webinar, the 25 t-shirt packaging and display ideas. And until next time, have a great day.